Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Wednesday, the 14th of July, and we are gathered together for the Knowledge Bolide weekly meeting. And we are going to have a little bit of a unique thing today. I'm in Arizona. It is 110, 112 or something like that out right now, and my air conditioner broke. So I'm going to make it for an hour, and then I'm going to pass the baton off to a co-host, and hopefully they can continue the meeting. But right now, we have someone who wants to show something, and that someone is Art Wagner. So Art, hopefully your camera's all in focus and we're ready to go. What you got for us, buddy?
I'm hoping so. Yep.
So what's the NWA number on this one again?
13187, and that's 1.3 grams. Martian Shergottite, found in 2019.
And it's actually a really nice sample to show the interior structure of it. It looks like you might actually have an end cut there on one side. Is that true?
Well, no, it looks like it's a definite slice. I'm going to try and rotate this.
Okay.
And see what happens. See if this other side.
Yeah, I guess it was a cut. Okay. Wow. Nice Mars. It's,
oh yeah.
It
definitely love Martian.
Yeah, it doesn't cease to amaze me every time. As a collector, as a dealer, I have Mars, I have the moon, and I do stop and pause. It doesn't get old, and the novelty doesn't wear off. The moment it does is the moment I'll question my sanity, because there's so many people that don't believe me when I say that I have Mars or I've touched them, held parts of the moon. And then I tell them and they're like, oh my God, really? Like, so good. Anyone else have something they'd like to show off?
I'll display some things a little later. That'll get set
okay.
up.
Well, I have something that is, it's not a corporate plug. It's meteorite related, but I'll show them off. There's now a set of 11 custom Topher spin meteorite lighters.
Yeah.
Sent me one of those.
Yeah. So the goal is to buy enough for me that you can collect all 11 of them.
11? Oh my God.
Yeah, there's 11 different ones. So anyone want to venture a guess what meteorite is on this one?
Zamzem. Probably wrong.
I believe
Random.
I believe that is
Esco.
Brenham. If you notice the large, I'm sorry, the round olivines, Brenham is known for its round olivines. So that's one of them. Here is another one. Whoops, jacked my camera up. So that's one of them. Here's number two. Anyone want to venture a guess on this palisite?
That one looks more like Immolac to me, but I'm not a good palisite guesser.
I'll give you a hint. Fred McPherson, you should be able to name this one, buddy. It's in your backyard almost. Wow.
Spring water.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. This is beautiful spring water found in Canada. And I went with a nice white pattern on this one for an iron. And that's St. Aubin. St. Aubin is a 3AB from Champagne, France.
Nice.
Got my little logo down there. I was just trying to squeeze everything I could on some of these, but this one I did actually as for Pat Brown, because I put my name and logo there, and then the rest of this is all for Pat Brown. Can anyone name this meteorite?
Is that a carbonaceous?
It is definitely carbonaceous. And it's from 1969, I think.
Is it from Mexico?
Yes, it is.
Allende.
You are looking at Allende, correct. With
Mhm.
beautiful CAIs.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's one of them. Now, this one, I think the color is off because I don't remember any blue tint on meteorites. So I've actually asked them to redo this one, but that's a diagonite. Yeah, I don't like the way it was reproduced. Now, if any of our regulars can't guess this one, you're ejected from the crew.
Bird check.
There you go. Or as my wife would say, erg check 1 2, erg check 1 2. Every time I say erg check, she has to repeat that. So this is Dar El Kahar. Just some beautiful metal melt in there. I know it's weird showing off meteorites on lighters, but these are the newest swag that I have.
I think I'm gonna start up smoking, Topher.
Well, I figure everyone could use a lighter. Everyone needs a lighter in their utility drawer. So this is diagonite. This is NWA 7831. And then an unclassified breccia. That's funny. I was actually trying to get the light to shine off of that metal clast, but this is not a meteorite. This is a reproduct. So, and then two more. This one is a beautiful mesosiderite. It is 1 of 1, NWA 13532, and this is the main mass from Chris Colvin. Yeah, just a beautiful mesosiderite. And finally, King Gujba.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that turned out nice, didn't it? Yeah. So more logos on the back. Just trying a little bit of anything. But yeah, so there's 11 of these now. I have 6 of each lighter, so I have like 66 lighters here at my house, and yeah, I don't smoke. but yeah, so now I have a collection for myself of 11, and there you have it. I'm the first human on the planet to have a complete set. And luckily Mike Kelly is raising his hand to save me, so here we go, Mike. Okay. Hey, buddy.
How's it going, guys? Wanted to show off a couple little things today. This is first thing is a current going on in the garage. So that's
is that carbonaceous?
No, it's
That
in
looks
a
like
chondrite.
that's weird.
It's provisional, so that's a provisional Ureilite.
I was gonna say it looks like a Ureilite. The structure of it looks like a Ureilite.
Mm-hmm. So it's it's pretty hard stuff. Roberto asked me if I wanted to try cutting one. I never cut one before, so I said, sure, why not torture myself?
And how did it go?
It went slow, very, very, very slow.
Wow.
Yeah, it lives up to its name. It's tough stuff.
You had
Nice
to
and
change your blade yet?
No, not that. I have not changed my blade yet on that.
Wow. Yeah. As soon I don't want to say, yeah, I knew it wasn't a Ureilite the moment you put it up there, but I knew it was a Ureilite the second you put it up there, but you threw me off when you said chondrite. And I'm like, wait, is a Ureilite a chondrite?
Yeah, no, a chondrite.
Okay.
Yep, but it's got that kind of Ureilite, really roughish crust going on to it.
Yeah.
Little triple junctions poking out there.
Now,
So.
People always talk about oh, I have a meteorite. It's full of diamonds and stuff. Ureilites are predominantly the meteorite associated with nano diamonds. And we're not talking about diamonds or micro diamonds. We're talking about nano diamonds. And as Daniel Shake brought out, that they can't even be viewed with an electron scanning microscope. They need better instruments in the lab to see these nano diamonds. So just a little education, yeah, a little knowledge bolide on people that you're not going to be seeing diamonds in your meteorites unless you're at a back scanning a electron microscope in a lab or better.
Yeah, this was the other one I want to show off. So this came in. This is Ochansk. So that's a old fall out of Russia. So that's it fell in 1887.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty pricey per gram nowadays. But I mean, there's a lot of it. There was 500 kilograms of it. So this is a nice, super thin 1 gram piece I was able to find. I wanted to pick that up because it's the largest of the H4 falls.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. And this came from Russia, from Olga, and it's always a funny package whenever you get something. So I guess this is my newest fridge magnet. It's a homemade fridge magnet case is what it came in. And actually, I kind of like it. You know, it's pretty nice for small slices. You know,
Yeah,
it's nice and flat.
Is that's not the original Chelyabinsk, is it?
No,
Okay.
that one's not from the same area.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice slice. I don't think I own that one yet. Wow.
Yep. So that was everything I had for the week.
Beautiful, man. Well, I appreciate you showing those, man. That's awesome. I have a Ureilite. I actually just boxed it up and sent it out earlier today. But here's the sister slice to it. And you can definitely see the exact same structure on the inside. Let me see if this will zoom in today. Yeah, it will. Good. Yeah. So this is the Ureilite. And yeah, after you see one or two, you see those like almost like looks like fish scales almost. It's that triple junction crystalline structure that Mike was talking about. Awesome. Sweet. Do we have any other show and tell or questions at all? We have Cameron Smith. Let's check you out, buddy. Howdy, man.
Good evening.
Howdy.
Let's see. So, first of all, I have to thank Chris Monk for sending me this awesome case to display my 13992. I got my big case down to show you that I added your sticker. I don't have many meteorite stickers. Cough, 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 cough.
Nice.
So the corner, you know, I've got, that's the only other one down here is that one. So I also snagged this Canyon Diablo set. It's got the sand and then the shocked sandstone and then a piece of the Canyon Diablo uncleaned, which was nice because the only one I have is clean and it doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Wow. You know, that's a nice set. You know what you should do right in the center of it? Put a picture of the old museum.
Oh, that would be a great idea.
Yeah, throw a picture of the either in its heyday, the 9-Inch Museum in its heyday, or you know afterwards where it's just like a wall standing in the desert.
Yeah. I have to admit the only reason I got it was for the sandstone because I actually already had the crater sand and a Canyon Diablo, but he gave me a chance to buy extra crater sand because you know can't get it anymore. So, and then as Art already showed off, the meteorite of the month for this month was 13187. So
Mars.
Nice.
Oh, you definitely have an end there.
So
Have you taken it out of there at all?
I have not. I'd have to
Okay.
put you down for a second.
I didn't want to ask you to remove it, but I'm going to ask anyway. I'm very interested in seeing the exposed edge.
All right, let's see. We have if I can find it. There it is.
Yeah. Nice.
And then
Wow.
there's that. And
Yeah.
finally is that edge.
Mm.
So
Wow. That's beautiful, dude.
Absolutely.
yeah, I know I bring it up every month, but Meteorite of the Month Club,
Yeah.
great stuff.
Yeah. We pump them up. Oh, wow. I can tell why Roberto filled that out. That's beautiful writing.
Oh yeah, his painstaking.
Nothing against, we're going to call him Dr. Mark and his scribble, but
Good Mark.
I kid because I love. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. 1.6 grams too. That's a nice one.
Yep, I was very, very happy with it.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So, and yeah, that's all I had this week.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, buddy. One of these weeks we should do a hangout where it's all lunar or all Martian or all Palisade or all something. But I don't want to restrict anyone. So if anyone has anything to show or ask, James, you said you got the package from me.
Yes, I did.
Awesome. And Jules' slice was in there.
Yes, here it is. Let's see if I get the focus right.
How do you feel about that, Jules? Your slices are in other people's collections now.
Oh, I love it.
Here.
I absolutely love it. Thank you for doing that.
Get it right, maybe you see the metal in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazingly aggressively thin, isn't it, James?
It is. I took it out and I thought, oh, I shouldn't be touching this.
There you go.
Yeah. I thought the same thing because Jules was saying that she was, that a lot of them were breaking, and some of the slices were broken. And I was thinking, well, I sold her some weathered rocks, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the other one. And then I saw how thin she was. Like, this is not deli meat. Yeah.
Well, it kind of was when I was cutting it. I was just trying to see how thin you can cut something without totally wrecking it at the same time. And now I know it.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's going to be different. So.
Yeah, and I still have your box right here with other samples waiting for other people who are worthy of it. Yeah. So that's one thing I like about the little community we got going here. We all pass things around to each other. Oh, he's got it out.
I got it out, yeah. And you can see how thin it is.
For a brand new cutter too.
And I think that's a complete slice. I think I see a crust all the way around. Is that right, Jules?
Yes, you got a complete slice. Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I have a few more complete slices, and then I have a few that, as long as you're creative with super glue, they can be complete slices. Yeah, so we'll have to figure out a way to find someone. We'll have to choose someone to pull the rock, the sword out of the rock to give them one. Ron Metchis. Let me see here. Hopefully he's ready for us.
Yeah, I got a couple things here. Okay.
Nice.
I had to mute the exit. Sorry. Okay, so what I want to show, I've got like 4 little slices here. I want to just, and they're irons. They're not chondrite, since I'm mostly an iron collector. So let me share my screen here, or change screens actually. Right there. Okay, can you see that?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
That is
Yeah.
a Tambo Quemado, the first one.
Oh, is that the Brazilian?
Tambo Quemado is Peru. It's
Peru.
from Ayachuco, Peru.
Wow.
This piece, let me see, let me get to my data here. Tambo Quemado. This one is 58 grams. It's about 2 inches on the side. I got this, I don't remember who I bought this from. I got this in Tucson a couple of years ago. Oh, from Moritz Carl. That's where I got that from. Yeah, this is one of those odd ones that I just saw there, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So I had to buy it. It's etched on both sides. Flip it over.
Oh my goodness.
And that's something.
Yes.
That's a nice big piece too.
Extremely big. I was just about to comment on the size of it, man. Because
it's about 2 inches on the side.
yeah.
So I bought that 2 years ago before COVID hit, of course. And so yeah, I just fell in love with that one. Paid a pretty penny for it too. So
yeah,
it wasn't very cheap.
No, it's
Next
not.
This one is also kind of rare. This one is Gheriat 004.
Ooh.
And this one, let me go to my data here. Gheriat is I got some Mike Miller. This one is 55 grams. And it is out of Libya. I'm going to fracture this name. It's Daryan Zamzem Valley, Libya.
If you say so.
Whatever.
Crust all the way around?
Yes, it's got crust all the way around.
Wow.
See on the edges there? And get a little time lag in my camera here. But yeah, it's crusted all 100 or 360 degrees.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see that.
Sweet.
Yep. It's one of those also I saw there and it just caught my eye. I thought
if you look at the pattern on it, the Vidmanstaden pattern at like 1 o'clock and then going towards the center, you see 5 geometric shapes that are dark.
Pyramids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see
that
those.
is a really unique feature.
Huh, I would have never noticed that until you pointed that out.
Super unique pattern. Like I don't recall a pattern like that on many other slices. Can we see the reverse of it, please?
Sure. Let me turn it over.
What side do you display?
Yeah, I regularly flip this around. This side is a little bit larger than the other side because it's kind of got an angle on the cut.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just beautiful on both sides. It's just
Beautiful.
Yeah, tremendous. And this side is the other side is really cool for those geometric patterns.
Yeah.
This side is really, and it also shows the wedge shape of the slice.
Mm-hmm. It does.
This one actually has pockets, and hopefully Mike Kelly will correct me if I'm wrong, but like it looks like silicated metals that are super shiny. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but you see the band going down the center of the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably Scribersite.
Shribbersite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually very silver, metallic, and shiny.
Yeah.
And those little geometric patterns you're seeing on there that were like perfect little triangles is because they happened to slice this piece off like right along the face of the octahedron. So, a face of an octahedron would be a diamond. So that's why you're getting those perfect diamond patterns in there, or double triangles,
Yeah.
Wow.
The single face would be a triangle.
I learn something new every time I come on these meetups. I never even knew that.
Nice.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's basically, I mean, if you could X-ray or 3D, CAT scan the thing, you'd see all these geometric full crystals in there. And then it would be super nice if you knew which way they were aligned before you cut it. So you knew, you could, envision what the pattern would look like. But if you cut like Muoniana Lusta the wrong way and cut it either with the grain or it basically doesn't have nearly as good of a pattern on it because you're not exploiting the shapes within. That is beautiful.
Yeah, I like this one. Anyway, let me move on to number 3. I got 4 total on this show.
Oh,
This
good.
next one is a Santa Rosa. And the crystal structure has been changed by either heat or pounding. Let me get down to my data on this one here. So Santa Rosa, this is from Boyacá, Colombia. And this piece it's about 3 inches long, 3.5 inches long. It's 91 grams. And this one comes from Robert Cucciara, Meteorite Madness.
Oh, yeah. I have a question. That's not a fall, is it?
That is, I believe, a fine. Let me see here. I have it marked down. That is a unknown. No, it's unknown.
Oh,
Here. No, it's a fine. It was found in 1810.
Okay. Wow, that is gorgeous.
Almost 200 years ago. Yeah,
Very unique pattern.
These are really some of my rarer pieces here. That's why I'm just in love with Wigman's. I don't understand much about the chemistry of chondrites, since I have concentrated mostly on irons, but I'm getting more educated by the week. So okay, let me bring up the last one. It's kind of a special one. This one I looked for a long time before I found a piece. This is out of China. This is Huoyanshan. And believe it or not, that's an etched surface.
Whoa.
This is the finest octahedrite. It's almost like grains of, I don't know, silver or something. But this has been polished and etched, and this is the etch on it. So let me get my data here. I got this. Let's see, Huoyanshan. This is out of Xinjiang. I'm sure I mispronounced it, China. I got this in 2016 again from Moritz Karl. You'll know his meteorites.
Wow.
And this one blew me away. It wasn't. He was sharing a room with some other fellow there, and it was him that actually went home and he had 5 slices at his house. He lived locally, and he actually drove home and brought back 5 slices, and this I thought was the best one. But yeah, this one, because I've been trying to find a piece of this for a good 2 or 3 years. I just couldn't find any. Nobody had any. He and I were just kind of talking, and I happened to mention I was looking for Huoyanshan. I said, "Oh, I have some at home." So he ran home, a half hour away, whatever, got it, and came back. So this is my one and only piece. It is etched on both sides. Let me flip it over.
Oh my gosh! When it catches the light perfectly,
it sparkles. It really sparkles. I mean, look at that. And there's no real pattern. I almost think this might be an attack site, but it is. Let me see, what is this? This is it's an octahedrite. It's a 1AB SLH, whatever that means.
That is gorgeous.
These are some of my rarer pieces. I have some others that I think I don't wear on my welcome today. So
Yeah,
I limited to 4.
Yeah, you are definitely talking about some rare irons there.
Yeah, these are some high-end pieces.
Yeah. Not that I have the most massive collection in the world or anything, but I'll show you my piece of one of his. This is the I'll let you
Tambo,
say it. Yeah.
I think you showed that once before.
Yeah, and those are my pieces.
Yeah.
So not nearly as much total weight and not nearly even one piece. But yeah.
I have kind of a personal rule of thumb that anything below 30 grams I don't bother with, because I like to look and see and feel. I don't want you to have to use a microscope. So most of my pieces tend to be larger. I'm not a micro collector or a miniature collector. I like big things that I can show to students, that they can look at and hold.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
The SLH means it's S is subgrouped. The first L means it's low in gold, and the H after that in the third character means it's high in nickel.
Ah, okay. So the high nickel would explain the absence of a Wittgenstein pattern. Or do I have that backwards?
I don't. Maybe Mike can.
Well, attack sites don't have a Widmanson pattern because of the high nickel content. At least that's my learning on it. So
I
that would
believe
make
that's
sense.
correct. I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
I have an attack site here that is Dronino.
Yeah,
And-
Dronino, Chinga is another one.
Yep.
I have a number of those.
Yeah, and it's unique because it has stuff in there, but it's not like the Widmanstatin pattern.
Yeah, it's mirror finished. You can actually, that actually looks very similar to a piece I have. I might have a sister slice.
Look at that.
But yeah, that's those are. I have, I think, maybe 4 of those.
And then the fingerprinty side.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can only now I have to wash it off again.
yeah, a little alcohol.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Chinga,
that's my show and tell for today.
that's awesome. Well, I appreciate it, man, because those are some nice irons. Like you said, they're rare irons, and irons I think represent only like 3%, 3 to 5% of all meteorite falls meteorites on the planet.
Yes.
So when you have a rare subgroup and then a rare and a huge slice like that, those are beautiful, man. Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah, especially after chasing that one for 2 years, you know.
Yeah, I put together a wish list. Every year I check off. I've got some newer things. I just missed getting a mesosiderite from Blaine Reed. He had on his latest list. It's a NWA 2392 or something like that. But it was just a beautiful mesosiderite. Somebody got it before me. Nab it.
and he still does it old school by mail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Blaine and I go way back. I've been buying from him for almost a decade.
Wow. You've been buying from him 3 times longer than I've been in meteorites.
Well, yeah. There are people like Pat that's been doing this for 30 years, for God's sakes. I wish I had been it 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I'd be able to have some of the big monster pieces like he has.
Yeah, and just laying around. Hey, look what I found in my office today. Another
really.
Yeah. Let's go to Chris Monk. Rocks on the ground. What you got for us, buddy?
Hey guys, so I had already talked about the possible carbonaceous that I had in classification with Daniel. One thing that I didn't show really that night is all these little crumbles. Not very spectacular, just little crumbles. But then when I took the bag out and me and Topher were looking through them, we found some interesting stuff. Quite a few of these little crumbles have big old CAIs poking out of them.
Wow.
And so I didn't really even have anything to show tonight, but then I was thinking about it and I was like, hey, they didn't see all these cool things that I didn't show.
Nice.
Yeah. It's the weirdest thing I've seen. Like, you normally don't see CAIs that percentage of the carbonaceous, let alone on the outside and just sitting there.
Yeah. Wow.
But I mean, all in total, there's probably, I don't know, 40 of these little crumbles.
Wow,
and maybe
that's a lot.
About 15 of them have like obvious on the outsides CAIs poking out. And so I just thought that was interesting. Something that you don't see very often is CAIs on the outside of a stone.
And for those that are, we looked at them pretty close. It's not white caliche, because there is a lot of caliche sometimes that looks really white. This is not white caliche. This is actually CAI material. And for those on YouTube, when we say CAI, we're talking about calcium aluminum inclusions. And really, the white material you're seeing right there is the oldest material in the solar system. It's basically the stellar nebula dust that first congealed and coagulated into solid
Before the
substance.
birth of our sun.
Yeah, exactly. It's that stuff is as old as the sun. And
and I mean, just looking at the pile, I mean, you can see how many of them there are. The percentage of CAIs in there are actually pretty high. I mean, maybe
jackpot.
20% of that pile of crumbles has an obvious CAI on the outside.
Wow.
I just thought
That's
that was really
amazing.
interesting and cool.
Could that have been a weaker part of the stone and that's where it fractured?
Possibly. Yeah, I am by far not the carbonaceous expert. Pat would probably know a little bit more about that than me, but I found it very cool and interesting.
Yeah, I can't explain it away. It's a good hypothesis that maybe that's a weaker material, and that's where it would obviously naturally cleave at during the weathering process through 10,000 years or whatever here on Earth. Maybe it does naturally break along those barriers or within those things, especially when it represents such a high percentage of the overall mass. Because normally you see CAIs and you see just small little ones floating around, just weird shaped little ones, but these are actually a very high percentage of the material being CAI. So pretty interesting. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that, man. We got Colin with his hand up. So if it turns on his camera, we'll highlight him.
Hopefully this, can you guys hear me? Yeah.
We can hear you. Yep.
Okay, sweet. Hopefully the camera's, okay. How do I turn it around here? There we go. All right. So today I just wanted to show off like a couple things here. I got this Camel Donga here from Australia. Hopefully I can get the light. The lighting setup is terrible right now. So, but can I zoom in on here? I don't know. But it has a lot of like
Flow lines.
Yes.
Flow lines. Yeah. 1 sec. Actually, I just want to see if I can. No, I can't zoom in. The iPhone. I thought you'd be able to, but
wait till next week. Zoom will let you zoom in next week.
Okay. Yeah. So I got this one, and this one's from Gary in Hawaii there.
Yep.
Fujihara. Yeah. So that's my first one from Australia too.
That is gorgeous.
I love it.
Yeah. Camel Donga is a Ureilite. And what we're seeing on it is the really, really nice dark fusion crust. And as was pointed out, Colin pointed out, there's obvious flow lines in that puppy, just dripping down the sides. I mean, beautiful. And then you see that brown line around it, the reddish brown line. That's the natural earth line where it's sat on in the soil. That's the top of the soil line of where it's sat.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's my first one that's pretty glossy fusion crust too. So
yeah,
that's pretty nice.
What's the weight on that one?
3 grams, 3.55.
Yeah, that's beautiful, buddy.
Yeah. And then I got something else here, which is pretty interesting. So I saw on eBay, I was looking at lunars, and this one came up as a possible, and I was really, kind of skeptical because I usually, look to make sure, but I saw this one here, which is really interesting. So it's, if I can put up to the light here, this one was supposedly found in Tindouf, Algeria. I can't pronounce it properly, but so it has, so it has, an exterior like this, and it was, there was a work name for it, and it was sent to Tony Irving, I think.
Irving.
But Irving, yep. And but the person, I guess, that found it decided not to cut it and give a sample or whatever to do the full classification. So, and then on the other side here, supposedly it has a very like interesting weathering. Okay. And I thought it was very interesting looking, but
it's not an impact pressure, is it?
No. It was fully sent to him. So I made sure I actually contacted him because I didn't know if it was a real work name. I just because the person didn't have a very lot of what's the positive on eBay? I can't quite remember, but so that, and it kind of reminds me of this one, which I do have, which is another lunar that came from the same region, which is NWA 11331. And it kind of looks, you know, it kind of looks dark, the dark exterior on top there.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the same a little bit.
Yeah. What you're seeing on this side right here, you see all the gray material, and then the white clasts in there are softer material, and as I think James mentioned earlier, maybe that wears out quicker, but on this one it absolutely does, because if you look at the outside of that lunar,
yep, the outside there,
well, the other side.
Sorry.
Okay, if you notice all those voids, those are where that white material has eroded away from terrestrialization.
Yeah.
All those round little, not little, but all those voids would have been filled in with that white mineral, whether it's feldspar or whatever. But it would normally be filled in there. So what you're seeing is a weathered outside of a lunar. And yeah, it's then you flip it over and you see it's actually gorgeous on the inside too.
It's really interesting. And I think Tony said in the email, he said it was just lunar field path of breccia, but that was but that's I thought it was very interesting, and I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna grab this, because I thought the other side is, because I've never seen like the inside of the lunars weathered, I guess you could say, like this. So it was very interesting.
It's very weathered but very fresh on the interior.
Yeah. Here's the other one. Yeah, that's the N11331 there. That's this one, which kind of looks like the same kind of, you know, exterior a bit, but just with more. Yeah, but that's basically, that's all. Those are just what I wanted to show today. This is first time showing some stuff, so.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
Very nice.
You did it, man.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
It's not that stressful. Anyone can do it. We invite anyone and everyone. Anyone and everyone to join, whether you have an advanced knowledge or whether you're just learning. Remember, you can keep yourself on mute. You can turn your camera off for the first couple times. Just want you to feel comfortable with the crew. So it's nice to see new people coming on board and showing stuff off. Makes my job easier too.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. A lot of people been collecting for a lot of years, and they have a lot of stuff. And it's a little bit intimidating every once in a while when you see other people showing off their stuff, but it's not meant for that at all. This is basically just to share our hobby with people. And you know what? All right, so hopefully you guys will have no problem hearing me, but figured I'd show you what I have on display back here today. A lot of these are my bigger ones, but this one here is unclassified. I think it's 7.2 kilos, something like that. And if you see right down here, I did cut a sample off for that's sitting at ASU right now, waiting to be classified. And I'll probably have to wait a few more years, but it'll eventually be classified. There's a 400-gram slice that Chris Monk prepped for me.
Wow.
And there's my first meteorite classification ever. That's NWA 12574, and this is the main mass of it.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful piece. That was my first classification. And then here's a 7.5 or something like that, 7.5 kilo Campo de Cello from Argentina.
The shark fin.
Yeah, it's nice because it's not your standard looking compo. my other one's all regmaglyphed, and this one's all smooth.
Definitely unique.
And then we have Gorora 003, the main mass. I try not to touch it. It's just glistening dark fusion crust.
Absolutely.
My newest main mass. This is Tazarine 002. Showed this off yesterday, but here you can see the iron in it better.
Absolutely.
And that's Juan Avilas's personal find. This one is classified. I forget the number on it right now, but I bought this to slice. I want to take really big slices of this thing because it'll make massively big slices. And I think that'd be a nice one to slice up so people can have huge slices. But here's the where it was cut for the lab. And that's all that's been removed from that piece.
Very nice.
Yeah. And then I have my remove before flight. Yeah. So, oh, and then back here is a beautiful Ureilite. Look at this.
Oh, nice.
Certainly
Nice.
is.
That's nice.
And as you can see, it's like there's holes all through it. But it barely fits in this frame. But there's my Ureilite back there. Hopefully it doesn't fall. There we go. Yeah. So that's what I have going on my stand. And Cameron, your shirt is right there. Thank you very much for allowing me to continue to use it. I guarantee it's super clean. Yeah. Over here I have a main mass for, this is Ja 813 from Chile. A 90-gram slice of Udai Station.
Very nice.
And then this is the main mass to Cat 238. And I love it because it has its has a label on it, hand painted. If it doesn't focus, there we go.
Oh, wow.
Nice. It's a weathered one, and you can definitely see. I love this cut right here, how it reveals the outside of the stone. But so that's what I have up here. The world's largest rotating display for the smallest compo. And then I have a couple stones that when I first got interested, I brought these to Dr. Lawrence Garvey at ASU, and he gave me his best guess of their classifications. So I have an H, an LL, and another H. And these are ones that Dr. Garvey looked at for me during one of the ASU Center for Meteorites open houses. And yeah, these were purchased at my first Tucson show.
Sweet.
I love the dark crust on this one.
Absolutely.
Quite a bit of metal, too.
Yep. That's why he put it as an H. But I wish one of them would have been an L, because it would have been an L, an LL, and an H, and they would have all been there. All right, let me switch back to my normal camera. All right. So that's what I have going on behind me today. If anyone else wants to show off a shelf of their collection, they can.
Hey, Topher.
Yes.
Beautiful room, beautiful nugget room. I know during it I was uttering, well, not uttering, I was yelling. Well, I don't want you to have to edit this out, but we're being recorded. But I'm sure there were plenty of expletives that everyone watching just thought, if not said. Goodbye. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I have great pride in my meteorites. You know, I picked each one individually, and you know, I obviously have ones that I sell. I obviously have ones I keep, and some of them are really important to me. And yeah, whenever I'm having a stressful day, well, funny story. When I go to rock shows, people, a certain type of person will always come up and ask me what type of energy this gives off, that this moldavite gives off a certain type of energy, or how does it make you feel? And I'm a salesman, but I'm a scientist. So how do you answer? Here's the way I answer. Whenever I'm having and this is honest, whenever I'm having a stressful day, I just hit pause. I walk over to my cabinet and I stand there for as long as it takes, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever. And I just get lost looking at the beauty, looking at the variety, looking at the rarity. You know, these are things that a few people on Earth collect. It looks like, yeah, we have a massive community, but really look at the percentage of people on Earth who collect real meteorites. And it's a very low percentage. So when I'm having a rough day, I walk over to my cabinet, I walk over to my shelf, I look at my art on my wall when I'm on conference calls, and it calms me down. It slows me down. It gives me pause and gives me a little bit of sense of size, and my problems, whatever was stressing me out, really aren't that big. And in 4.5 billion years, this rock will still be here, but my problems won't be. So that's my mental soapbox gymnastics. Thanks, appreciate that. Let's go over to Chris Monk real quick.
So you had brought up something kind of interesting, and so I'm going to take you to my much smaller collection. Topher may have a story about that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he wants to share it, but
which one was that?
This is the Semchen that you might have gotten kicked out of a show trying to obtain.
Yes. I'm going to save that for when we're not being recorded, how I got kicked out of Tucson, but I got that slice.
Yes, he did, and now I have it and have a great story to tell. So this is my iron shelf. I don't want to go through each and every one, but I have Meso and a Campo and Vaca Muerta.
Yeah, but you don't need to rush. This is golden for us. We love.
Okay.
I don't know about everyone else, but I think we should all take a turn once a week showing off a shelf of our collection. Maybe not in granular detail, but you know, I want to see what everyone collects and how they display and get some ideas too.
So this is a Vaca Muerta. This was my first Mesosiderite. That one right there is a Gibeon in the center. That was actually my first iron. Probably my second ever meteorite and my first real meteorite. Got some Canyon Diablo, a little Brenham. So I have a total of 4 pallasites now, but so that's my iron shelf.
Go up to that iron shelf for one more time. Top right-hand side, the last one. Show me my cellar remorse slice. I have seller's remorse over that Sakota lens slice.
Oh, yeah.
How often do you see Sakota lens slices? And me, the idiot, sold the only slice I ever had. Yeah,
well, there it is.
Yeah, that's why I want to see your collection so I can see my pieces too, because that's beautiful. Thank you.
That's my iron shelf, and down here I have I'll zoom out for a second. This is my chondrite shelf, or there's a lot of achondrites in here too, but I have some oriented pieces. That piece right, those 3 kind of L-shaped pieces on the end are all oriented. I have a Ureilite. No, not a Ureilite. That's a CV main mass. That's my first main mass.
Nice, carbonaceous.
Then I have Erchek and a Chelly Banks up on the top. That is a 15-gram Chelly Banks with a little bit of glass from the concussion. On the second shelf, I have some lunars. And
Really
a
nice
little
lunar collection.
Moonman footprint. Then in the center, I have some Mars. I have a Shergottite and my Knocklite. Then that one right there is a Ureilite. I can't remember the classification and I don't have it labeled, but it has a really cool dent in it and a huge.
Yeah, it's NWA 8036, I think, pairing. Yeah, but it's got a beautiful, huge, like tan chrome colored clast in it.
And then let's see, I have one that's still waiting to be classified beneath it. It's a Ureilite, but it doesn't have a name yet. Some Irachita 004. Just some basic ones. We got some Buzzard Cooley. And then some Vinales. There on the end. Then up front, let's see, I can't remember. Oh, that one I got from Oz. That is a Galgini. And NWA 13991. It's a L3 from Algeria. There's my first, that one right there is the first one I ever cut. That's CM001.
Nice.
Some Garora 003, much smaller than Topher's. And that one right there is Aguazarcus. So this is into my carbonaceous ones. We got a CV reduced 3. And that one on the end is a CO3. Then I have some achondrites ungrouped up front. And then I have a magnifying glass with dust on it, but in there is Tarda 003 in the sand.
Nice.
In a little display case, but I got it underneath the magnifying glass so I can see it up close.
That is
And then I just started this shelf. I had to move some of my rocks so I could get in there, have a unclassified NWA, some tektites, and then the one I'm waiting on my classification. That's the current main mass. And then one of a gift from Topher, his old handstone.
Yes.
Meteor Wrongs.
Everyone needs a collection of them.
So that's it. Just wanted to, you inspired me to show off my collection.
That is awesome.
Very nice.
Hey, Topher, you're in trouble. Hey, Chris, you could sell tickets to people to walk through that. Absolutely stunning.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. It's we should start charging admission to our houses. Thanks a lot. That was awesome. I'm glad that you felt so inclined to share that with us. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
Mike Kelly with his hand up. And
How's it going, guys?
there we go.
These are ugly little nuggets of Sericho. So I didn't really want to show these off, but you can kind of see that they got some fissures and cracks in there and stuff like that. So what I wanted to kind of cover was, you know, what do you do short of electrolysis in order to clean them up a bit? And this one has been cleaned, and we always talk about acid for etching. So this was cleaned with phosphoric acid, deruster. just, obviously it's not, it doesn't end up, looking like a electrolysis clean piece does. But at the same time too, it doesn't necessarily fall to pieces, which is what I'm worried about with these, falling completely apart by the time I'm done if I were to do electrolysis on them. So just figured I'd try that off. I don't know if a lot of people have played around with phosphoric before to clean. So
in what form do you get it? Do you just, how is it procured?
So it comes in a bottle. You can either get a highly viscous one that's similar to what they call navel jelly, or you can get one with more flow to it. And I used the one for these that was a gel. And again, it's like a commercial deruster for iron and steel products.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. And, you put it on there, you let it sit there for 20 to 30 minutes and you wipe it off. So this was coated, left on for half an hour, and then just wiped off. I neutralized it with a base, obviously, to get it neutral, and then give it a good rinse with distilled to get any salts that was formed by the acid and base mixing together. And then just give it a very light nylon brushing.
Awesome. Thank you, man. That one, you can really see the entire olivine, like the entire thing, both of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought they were cool because, they looked, very indistinct when I started out, and the olivines, you can kind of see a tiny little bit of an olivine hanging out there. I just looked at them and, I saw that and I went, okay, it's a chunk of Sericho. But yeah, they cleaned up pretty nicely. So the other ones need a bath.
Awesome.
Is there a way that you could just polish the face of one of those olivines and leave the stone intact as it is?
I'm sure you could. If you had a lap, you could polish, like facet it, I get people asking all the time for olivines that they can make jewelry out of and stuff. And it's not really, you can't really, in my estimation, it's like destroying a meteorite to get the olivine out if all you're going to do is that one little thing. With Sericho, it's really not that big of a deal because there's so much of it, especially when there's a piece like Mike was showing that has obvious weathering and water damage to it. It'd be falling apart regardless unless you did something. So if you're able to retrieve the olivines from that and do something, I guess it pays off. But one thing I do with my meteorites that aren't going to classification and they're just for me, or I'm cleaning them up for sale. If they have caliche on them, I put them in my ultrasonic cleaner with probably 3/4 hot water and 1/4 white vinegar, and let it go through a few cycles, and get a nylon brush and give it some surface rubbing and throw it back in, and a lot of that caliche will fall off. I don't recommend it for certain things, obviously, not Lunar or Mars. And those Serichos that Mike was showing had such deep cracks in them that it would exploit that if you put it in an ultrasonic and shook it for 20 minutes trying to get the water to go in that crack, it would exploit it and ruin it. So as far as what other methods I've used to bring like Serichos that are in dirty, unclean condition is, I start out very mildly with a steel brush or a brass brush, and then move to nylon as quickly as possible. And you can also use a little bit, once you get it down to where you have it now and you're finally done, you can put a tiny bit of gun oil on it as well, and that will keep it protected.
So one thing that I can share, me and Mike were having this conversation yesterday, but so I made a mistake, and I'll just say it was a mistake because we're all in this learning with me together. I left some stones that I cut in alcohol overnight. So sometimes when you're cutting stones, it helps to get the water out and help protect the stones that have high metal in them, to soak them in alcohol. The alcohol works down in the little cracks, gets the water out, and then the alcohol can evaporate. I left them in there overnight, and when I took them out in the morning, some of the bottom layered stones had this white crust all over them. And so I was like, what the heck happened? And I figured maybe something dissolved off the stones. Maybe it was dust from the saw that didn't get washed off. I didn't know what it is. Maybe it was just isopropyl alcohol contamination. Like, I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to wipe it off. It wouldn't come off. One of the faces of the stone that had it on there, I actually took some like 5,000 grit sandpaper and sanded it until I got it off, but there was still some residual. And on my carbonaceous that or not my carbonaceous, that possible LL3 that I showed last week, those were the slices, and all around the rim, it was just crusty white.
Oh,
and I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
So I thought it through. I tried a couple of things that were fairly non-intrusive. And what I found out was I took a little bit of acetone, I put it on a toothbrush, scrubbed it for just a couple seconds and washed it off, got it right off.
Yeah.
I still don't know exactly what it was, but the acetone worked. So if anybody out there soaks in alcohol a little bit too long, and you get that white crust from the alcohol, acetone gets it off.
Nice. Good to know. Yeah, I was hoping that was not my Zarev. Yeah. So
no, one of your pieces of Zarev did have a little bit of that crust from soaking them in alcohol, but that came right off.
Awesome.
As soon as I figured out the acetone trick, it was done.
Yeah, and when you're using acetone, you have to wear better than just the latex gloves, because acetone goes right through them. So make sure you're using chemical rated gloves. You don't have to worry about that with alcohol. Alcohol will not go through latex gloves, but acetone will. And you'll literally take your hand out of the glove and there'll be just skin sloughing off. So and that goes with lye as well, because we work with lye when we're doing some restoration. You want to definitely use chemical rated gloves for that, because that lye is nasty stuff. So awesome. Well, hey guys, thanks a lot for joining us this week. We had a lot of great conversations and good show and tell, and I'm really glad, because I needed to rely on the crew, the Knowledge Bolide crew, this week more than ever, because I couldn't even think straight today. It's so hot in my house. So I'm bugging out early to find a cooler location. I definitely appreciate everyone joining and sharing everything. And Chris, thanks for taking us for a tour of your collection. Definitely appreciate it, man.
Yes,
Have
sir.
a great week, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
See you next week,
week.
okay?
Good night.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.